Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Oh My Goodness podcast. My name is AJ Smith, the Joy Weaver, she, her. Today, we're talking about when you're like, I would rather claw my eyes out than access joy right now. I would rather lie in this bed and not touch a damn thing than hear or think about joy or delight or whimsy. Like that is for people who just, I don't know, are wired differently, wired like you, AJ, because sometimes our nervous system is so sneaky and makes us think that we don't get cool things, that we're not allowed joy or possibilities when the world is doing XYZ, right? And I will be the first one to be like, hey, here's the system we're living in. We live in a white supremacist, capitalistic, patriarchal system that's built in the West right now, especially in America, on Christian nationalism, right? And so knowing that makes you feel less crazy. I think makes me feel less crazy when I'm like, hey, is this system perfect? No, no, it's not. Is everybody having equal access or equal support? No, it's not. But when we think, but it should be, but it's supposed to be, we can get so spun up in this, but it's not like this and it should be feeling that we get stuck there instead of trying to figure out, okay, it's not, which means something is broken or it was made that way. How do we want to move through this with this, fix it, change it, versus just staying in, but it should be like this, right? It's kind of like when it's raining outside and then you're like, but it shouldn't be raining. It should be a sunny day. Like the weather, it doesn't matter. It's raining. It's just how the weather is happening in that moment, right? So then do you want to go play outside in the rain? Do you want to put on a rain jacket? Do you want to play inside? Do you want to change your plans? Like, do you see how sometimes when reality happens and it changes our plans in ways that we weren't expecting, we adjust? It's raining. Man, that sucks. Okay, what do we want to do instead? Okay, here's what it is. Man, the system is not working the way I would like it to. Man, that sucks. Okay, what do we want to do about it? How do we want to show up in this? Because what's happening is sometimes we get frozen in it all because it's overwhelming. Some of that is made that way. Who benefits? Who benefits from you staying frozen? Who benefits from you not moving in a way that is aligned for you? Who benefits from you not taking care of you? And I'm not talking about like bath salts and putting on red lipstick. Like that is fine and good. And like, I love me and my bath salts. I love me and my red lipstick. And I'm talking about the intrinsic idea here of hope, of joy, of there's so much hustle that's built into everything, especially in capitalism right now. Like, I don't know about y'all, but my Facebook feed is just ad, hustle, hustle, hustle. And I'm like, where are my friends? And so I've been trying to deliberately go to my friends and like comment on their stuff. So their stuff is popping up in my feed. I'm like, I want to see the happy babies. I want to see the anniversary post. I want to see the sandwich you ate on Tuesday. I want to see people living. Does that make sense? And I think when we forget about actually living, because sometimes you're forced to just survive, right? And I'm so grateful that we've been able to survive and thrive now. Um, but that when things are hard, kindness for yourself and openness for the possibilities aren't things we chuck off the table first thing. Does that make sense? Okay. Because sometimes it also we think like, okay, but to have joy, I need to have energy for it. And I was having this conversation with my friend Tara, um, and about accessible joy, right? Because I'm about to run Absurdist Delight this summer, and she's like, "Hey, is there going to be accessible joy in here for people who are spoonies and things like this?" And I was like, "100%," because Jen Hatmaker said this a long time ago, and she's like, "If your theology is not true for a single woman in Haiti, it's not true." And that's always stuck to me about like what are timeless truths, what are things that resonate, what what is a platitude, what is a nice to say versus what I feel in my bones or what other people feel in their bones, right? And I will be the first one to admit that I used to be a little bypassy panda of like, it's fine, or like, hey, but here's the silver lining, because I didn't want to sit with the hard. I didn't want to sit with the stickiness of we are at in wars that we should not be. I didn't want to stick with there are genocides happening in real time. I didn't want to sit with queer people are in trouble, like actively being harmed by our systems, by our legislation, right? Pregnant women are being arrested like in real time. These are things that are happening. And I don't say this to be like inflammatory. I say this because this is our reality. It's fucking raining outside. It's raining outside. And there is goodness. And there is a rainbow. And we have sunny days. And it feels like this whiplash. And sometimes you're like, I am tired. This is a lot. And when we hit that, I am tired, this is a lot, that's how we know we've hit our overwhelm. That's how we know our nervous system is like, Barbara, I'm at capacity. I cannot, like, no, don't pass go, do not collect $200. Like, I cannot. Because what's happening is in our system, in our society, sometimes we're pushing past our limits because we have to, because things, systems, whatever, your job. But then my invitation here is, how are we refilling? If we are using up our battery in ways that we haven't had to before, how are you refilling your battery? Because if you burn out so bad that you can't make it, what a loss. What, like, does that make sense? When you play the tape forward, burnout will take you out. Burnout almost took me out. So I'm not trying to be like reckless or too inflammatory. I'm trying to help you see that, like, one way, if we give up hope and we're just like, nothing's ever going to work, we feel hopeless, we lose our fuel, we lose our drive, we lose our joy. And then it's like, are we living lives worth living? Are we living lives that we enjoy, that we want to be in? Are we just kind of like clocking in and clocking out each day of our human existence? Is that what you want? And if you're like, yeah, AJ, that's all I know, that's okay. I'm here telling you there's a different way. There's a different way. That doesn't have to be what you do because that's how society taught you or trained you or told you that's all there's to look for. Not every day is a great old Tuesday, right? And it's a practice, because when a lot of society is doing something one way to swim upstream or to be like, hey, I don't know if this is working for me. And people are like, shut up, it's fine. Right? How many times have you heard people are like, you're too young, you're too XYZ, you don't know, or like listen to the other people and you're like, I don't know if this is, but maybe, but like, and then you stay quiet. And then you're knowing, your inside is like, but this could be different. I want to speak to that. This could be different part of you because you're right. It could. And you don't always have to know how, right? When we're thinking about changing our lives or trying something new, what happens is we visualize the end of like, okay, I'm going to be happy and I'm going to live on a beach and I'm going to do all these things, right? But we forget about the work it takes to get there. We forget about the changing that it's going to have to take to our energetic, like our bodies and our thinking and our mindset. And some things happen fast, but some things take time. If you have spent 22 years just being like, nothing ever works for me, everything's falling apart, everything's terrible, all of this sucks, I'm worthless. Like, that talk is gonna take more than a day to rewire. And there's people who can like do nervous system resets in like a day. Like, there are people who work really quickly, but I want to speak to like the average person doing this work, is that this is the long game. This is what is our North Star. Because sometimes when we're setting goals, we're like, okay, in a year, I want this, and this. Perfect. Great. Here, I'm here for it. If it happens, great. If not, also great. Because if you just keep aiming towards that, your life is going to start shifting in ways that like add up. It's like a cruise ship, right? That 1 degree shift. But where do you want your end to go? I want you to play the tape right now of like, what is the way that you're speaking to yourself, the way you're talking about your work or who you are, the kind of friend you are, like what is surrounding you vibes wise, yourself and others. And do you want that long term? And if not, what do you want? Because sometimes we can't figure out what is our next right step. That's kind of hard. But if we can figure out what's the overall vibe, okay, I want more delight. I want more joy. I want to feel good in my body. Okay, then what that looks like from a short term perspective is cultivating a relationship with your body, learning how to talk to your body, which feels so scary. I've walked so many people through this, right? And they're like, I think my body's going to hate me. And I'm like, sometimes our bodies are a little sassy because they're like, oh my God, you're listening now. Here's my list, but also like sometimes we have really strong feelings about our bodies. It goes both ways, but our body is team us, even when your body has disease or your body has chronic illness, right? Like that is a whole podcast. We're not getting into that right now, but I just want to say sometimes it doesn't feel like your body is on your team because your body is like not working in the way that you would like it. And so it feels like you're working against your body. And you're like, I would be so limitless. Like, I hear you. I am with you. That is like a different kind of conversation. Does that make sense? And also, when it's raining, okay, what do we need? If our body's like, no, not today, because our chronic illness is saying we need to leave it, like lay in bed. Okay, then how can we make our bed a sanctuary? Maybe we need to have like our laptop or some easy access snacks or some water. Like, do you see like what are our avenues of accessibility, of kindness? Maybe we have incense. Like, so often we think it has to be these big things, but really it's these small shifts on the way that we're treating ourselves, that we're saying, I am allowed this. Yes, I made a mistake, but I'm not stupid. Like I'm learning, I'm growing in real time. Like something I'll say often is like, ooh, what a learning opportunity that was when I like totally like shit the bed on something. I'm like, that was not great. And then I'm like, okay, that was a learning opportunity. What are we taking? What are we applying? How are we moving forward with it? That is the same thing because reality will be what reality is. And if we just say, but I don't want this, 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 it's just like you're beating your head against a wall and it's not going to change. I mean, sometimes things change. Things inevitably change anyways, right? Life is change. But if you can start being like, okay, I don't want this, I do want this, then you can start moving towards it. Do you see like there's an opening of I want this and moving towards it or calling it in or being open to it? Have you ever turned towards the light? Have you ever been on a stage or maybe you're just walking and then the sun comes out of the clouds and it just like touches your face that you're like, oh, and your body kind of melts because it's warm. That's that feeling that we're inviting into your life. What do you want? And how can we be open to letting it in? Because it's also cumulative, right? Our mindset builds on our habits, builds on our activities, builds on the words we say about ourselves and the people around us. Like the way you talk about yourself has power. Words are spells. Words have power. Words have the power of life and death. All of it is true. Okay. So sometimes the story we're making up in our heads is like, what if this happens? And what if that happens? And it's like spiral doom. Everything's going to burn. Everything's going to die. And it's because 14-year-old us inside is just trying to keep you alive. Like she's just trying her best to make sure that you are alive and okay. Because at the end of the day, if you don't belong, nobody's going to want to be with you. You're going to be homeless, and then you're going to die alone by yourself. And then the world's going to explode. That's at least my fear is where that goes at the end of the day. When I'm like, oh, if I make this post, nobody's going to like it, or people are going to message me and then I'm going to be all alone. And then Jared's going to divorce me. And then, but like, it just goes off the rails that I'm like, you okay in there? What's going on? And I'm like, oh, I'm a little hungry. Or, oh, I'm actually really nervous that people won't resonate. And I'm like, okay, why am I posting this? Why am I sharing this? Oh, I'm sharing this because this feels aligned or because I had this conversation 5 times since Wednesday. And I want people to know that they're not alone and they're not crazy about it. Feeling me? Feeling me? Okay. And so what would it be like if, can we start dreaming? Can we start using that imagination that's besties with fear at the moment? Can we start using her for dreaming? Can we start using our imagination of like, okay, what if this goes sideways? Okay, like, sure, we got that. That is so easy to imagine worst case scenario. What's our best case scenario? What's a good case scenario? That would be a nice scenario. What's a scenario? That's not great, but like, okay, scenario. What's a bad scenario? Because usually you are playing the tape on the worst case scenario. You're not even looking at not even best case scenario, but the 10 other possibilities in between best and worst. Sometimes if I have a client that's like really stuck, I'll have them like list them out. Okay, what's the situation? Okay, best case, good case, okay case, meh case, not my favorite case, not great case, bad case, worst case. And then, okay, what happens? And then what are you going to do next? What's your next right step? And then they're like, oh, Okay. And then sometimes something happens that wasn't even on the list. Or most of the time, it's like either in the meh or it's in the like, oh, that worked out okay. And then they move on. So often we see a cavern or this like cliff when it's a puddle, but we don't realize it's a puddle because we're not looking ahead at somebody else who's walked our puddle or who can be like, you got this. I've got you. It's okay. Trust, like listen to your nudge because we're so filled with some outside noise that sometimes listening to our inner knowing, that quiet voice on the inside is hard. Or we don't know how to discern what's fear, what's shame, what's that inner voice, what's the lies we believe from other people, because that one's a really sneaky one. What's our parts piping up to try to protect us? And so it gets really cluttered. And so then we stay because we're like, I don't know, but I know I don't want this. And so we shrink and we don't take up space because if we feel like we take up space, we're going to do it wrong because it's so loud. I've got you. I understand. I do. We got to start somewhere. And that starting somewhere can be listening to this podcast. It can be joining us for Absurdist Delight, where we're rewiring the whole system. And we're doing it in such a way where we're inviting play, we're inviting joy, and we're inviting openness, and we're listening. We're practicing listening for what do we want? And we're going to do it in community, which is, I think, one of my favorite things, because when we do things in community where we're going like not against each other, but it's like that iron sharpens iron. When you're seeing somebody else reach for a dream or a goal, you're like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. Not she can do it, so I can't do it because there's not enough. It's not a pie, my friends. If she can do it, I can do it. If they can do this, I can do this. Okay, they said this out loud and they didn't die. Okay, maybe I can post something that I want to post, right? It's the permission slip. We are becoming the permission slips that we have desired to see in the world, and we are being permission slips for each other. So I don't care if you have been on this joy journey for 10 years. If you're like, AJ, I'm actually ahead of you on the joy and the delight. Like I'm already living my best life. Perfect. Come jam with us. Like, let's find your joy edge and like move it even further. Like, let's keep expanding. Like, yes, let's go full out. Like, we need pacers, right? Like we're pacing together. We're learning, we're growing together. If you're like, AJ, this is my first thing. I don't know joy, the first thing. Perfect. This is the group you want to join because we're going to be pacing each other. We're going to be growing and learning side by side. Think about it. Like what better way than to just get all immersed and have people be like, I believe in you. You can put on the maroon jacket. You can go for a walk outside and take 5 minutes just for you, because joy also looks like prioritizing your body, your soul, your needs, drinking water, eating food you like. This also looks like asking for what you need, right? Like so many people think of joy as this fun, big thing. But when you're present in your body, that whimsy, that like delight of that's pleasure, that's desire, that's, hey, here's what I would like tonight. But we only ask for what we need most of the time when we think we're worthy of asking. Make sense? Melanie and Layers had a sister who said, maybe means yes. A lot of times we think if we hear maybe, it's a no, but maybe is in the middle. So maybe also maybe means yes. This program, Absurdist Delight, it's called Absurdist Delight because the world is absurd right now. It's absolutely absurd. You heard me mention just a few things off the top of my head. And it's just like, what is this? And so to choose you, to align with joy, to be like, you know what, all this stuff is happening and it's vital for me to be in overflow, for me to be in alignment with my higher power right now. Oh, revolutionary. And that's going to ripple in ways you don't even know. You don't even know. You don't even know. It's going to ripple. It already is rippling. You even listening to this and thinking about it is rippling in real time. So if you're like, hey, AJ, I like this, but I'm not going to join this summer, that's okay. You're already taking in ideas about what joy could look like for you, what you being a permission slip for people could be, right? Whatever way you access this is fine. Maybe you've got a little group together and you're like, okay, I have this idea. I love it. You know what I'm saying? This is the way you feel in your body, in your life. And when things are hard, that's when we paint our walls. That's when we get our friends together and be like, I've got some bread. Does somebody else have some soup? Somebody else have a drink? Okay, let's get together. Let's do this. Me and my friends are busy. If you saw my calendar, you might be like, what is happening, AJ? But like, I am intentionally living a life I love that is filled with goodness and delight. And that means my time is kind of precious. So when I get together with my friends, we're like, okay, go. But they are moms and their life is very busy as well. So when we get together, we make meals together that we can freeze and take home. So we get our friend time and we make our meals time. We are making meals more joyful by coming together. Something that you got to do that I personally don't really enjoy cooking is so much more fun when I'm doing it in community. That's what this is about, is finding our access points to expand, to say, here I am, here's what I desire, here's what I want. Here's me taking up space because I can, because I'm literally existing in space in this time and era. What does your fullest expression of you look like? Or even what does your next layer look like? But if you're just like, I don't deserve any of this, I'm not worthy of any of this, whose story is that? Where is that from? How is that serving you? How does that feel? Play the tape, my friend. You are worthy of joy, period. Always. You are worthy of goodness. You are worthy of delight. You have a soul. You are made with purpose. And I so hope you join us. Anyone who is listening, I hope you join us for Absurdist Delight this summer. And if it's like, I don't know, next year and you're listening to this, there will be something new, I'm sure. But I feel in my bones something is coming. Like this is the start of something new. And it's going to be great because it's too long that we've all held ourselves back for the comfort of people who don't even acknowledge their own joy humanity desires, or who do, but take them at the cost of other people. No, we don't play that game. At our game, everyone eats, everyone wins, everyone thrives. Everyone's soul is worthy of goodness. Come join us, sing your soul song, send me a message if you've got any questions. You can find me, The Joy Weaver, Instagram, Facebook, thejoyweaver@gmail.com. My sales page is officially up for Absurdist Delight if you want to read more. Either way, think about it. What does un poco more joy, a little bit more joy for you look like? What does claiming your whole self look like for you? Okay, see you next week.